The road to Coventry is over, and what a weekend it was. Welcome back to BritBoy Hockey. Now, before we dive into this video, make sure to slapshot that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss future uploads. I say it in every video, you guys know the drill by now, but if you haven't already, please make sure and do that. It would help very much. And let me know your favourite Coventry moment from this weekend down below in the comments. Right, with that said, let's review finals weekend. First of all, Coventry delivered once again. Fans from all across the country gathered under one roof. The atmosphere all weekend was loud, passionate and unique, and it reminded everyone why this is such a special event. So let's begin with the first semi-final, which was the Leeds Knights against the Sheffield Steeldogs at 1:30 on Saturday, and it was Leeds who came through with a 3-2 victory, and in doing so booked the first place and their place in the national final on Sunday. Neither team played badly, neither team hit their absolute best level either, but Leeds used their Coventry experience when it mattered most, and that experience proved to be the difference. Sheffield, though, can still be proud of their effort. They stayed in the contest right until the end, but Leeds found those key moments, and those key moments moved them one step closer to the trophy. The second semi-final at 5:30 brought the shock of the weekend. The league champion Swindon Wildcats faced the Hull Seahawks, and it was Hull who took the 2-1 win and reached their first Coventry final as a franchise. For Swindon, it was another painful semi-final exit. Their third straight trip to Coventry ended the same way. They never truly looked like themselves. They never truly looked like the league champions side we had seen the whole season. And it was Hull who fully capitalised on that. So credit to the Seahawks. They played their own game. They stuck to their plan and they executed it. They were disciplined. They were physical. They were composed. And truly they deserved that place in the final. I was saying to people at Coventry, Swindon just didn't show up. They got sucked back into the Coventry black hole, as I called it. And Hull, they had a game plan. They stuck to that game plan. They executed the game plan, and they deserved it, to be honest, because they were the better team in that game. So after Saturday, the final was confirmed. It would be the Leeds Knights versus the Hull Seahawks, a fresh all Yorkshire final matchup with a different story to tell, and it was a brilliant way to set up Sunday. And talking about Sunday, before the national final came the NIHL1 Final, where the Blackburn Hawks took on the Slough Jets, and it was the Hawks who won a thrilling game by a score of 5-4 and lifted the NIHL1 playoff title. It was physical, it was fiery, and it was full of intensity. That's exactly what many people say, and many people always expect from this NIHL1 matchup. Blackburn, though, they were not perfect, but they were stronger when it was needed, and they found a way to get it done. Then came the main event, the Leeds Knights versus the Hull Seahawks, for the national title, for the playoff title, and for the last title of the 25-26 season. And it was Leeds who won an entertaining final 5-3, of which the editor is very happy about because his 5-3 prediction came true in the biggest game of the season. And it was Leeds who became playoff champions once again. For much of that game, though, it looked like Hull were capable of winning it, and it looked like Hull would win it. They pushed hard and they played with belief. I actually thought until about I think I said it in my social media videos, but until kind of the final 5-10 minutes, I was thinking, yeah, Hull were going to win. But it was Leeds who rallied in the final stages, and it was that experience, that Coventry Final Four, not just their winning experience, but having been at Coventry and knowing what it takes to win and winning it, it was that experience that carried them home. Many people, though, wrote Leeds off this weekend, including me. I said it in my predictions. Leeds against Sheffield. Now, Leeds are the former champions. They won it, as I said, in 22-23. But they will be missing some key young players due to GB call-ups. And youngsters are the backbone to your team. So because of that, I think that opens the door for Sheffield. So I'm backing the Sheffield Steeldogs to pull off what I would claim as an upset and book their place in the Final Four final. They were short benched, they were missing players, and there were doubts, about them. But once again, they proved people wrong, and they proved that you can never write Ryan Aldridge and Leeds off. They may have not won the cup or the league. They may have not been able to hold on to their reins on those, but they still leave with one of 3 trophies, and when the pressure was the highest, they delivered, and that says everything about their mentality. Sunday overall was stronger than Saturday. The hockey quality improved across both finals, I think it would be fair to say. The crowd was louder and more invested. That Sky Dome was rocking, I will tell you, between Hull and Leeds, and the emotion felt bigger all around. So now for my closing thoughts on Coventry. I'd give the weekend a 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't the greatest Coventry ever, but it will still be one that will be remembered. Every Coventry is remembered for different reasons. But I do just want to talk about something very quickly. I want to mention the events management side. Now, I appreciate the volunteers who give up their time. They work hard and they deserve respect to put on this event. It's no easy feat, I'm sure, to make sure that it runs smoothly. But there are some issues that need addressing. Ticket prices rise, programme prices rise, and attendance is full. That's something that should concern everyone involved. Fans are the heartbeat of weekends like this, and they should feel valued and not squeezed. As for the programme, my editor will get annoyed about this because I keep telling him this, but charging £10 was poor enough. That was, I believe, £2 more than last season. I'm pretty sure I paid £8 last season. But mistakes inside made it worse. There was wrong teams, there was wrong leagues, and there was clubs that were missing entirely. I mean, the Swindon section was talking about the NIHL1 Phantoms. The Leeds section was talking about some other team. There were teams missing from the individual team season reviews. It's simply just not acceptable. Look, last year they got the year on the front wrong. Look, that's something that we all get wrong. Someone's gone, oh, what year is it? Blah, blah, blah. We get that wrong, it's fine. But if you're missing sections out and you're putting sections about other teams because you've used the same template from a different league and you haven't changed it around, I mean, how that goes through quality control without being picked up somewhere at least, I don't know. And then the worst thing is you're paying £10 for it and they know that something is wrong in it. Look, the fans, the clubs, the creators, the players, the volunteers, we all are trying to grow this sport. So the people who are quote-unquote running the sport must match that effort. British hockey deserves better standards and better leadership moving forward. I hope Planet Ice and the NIHL notice this and make sure that they change it next year, because the programmes are really good. I've got 2 programmes sat up behind me somewhere, but this year I didn't invest in one, and I probably would have if there wasn't those mistakes in there. But that said, credit where it is due. I just want to give 2 shout outs to Joe Scutts and Anthony Russell, who were excellent on the commentary of the banners on the wall. Is Anthony, I was obviously there in Coventry, so I wasn't watching the stream, but I know that they added energy and professionalism all weekend and they deserve praise for their work. I was lucky to have a quick chat with Anthony on his way up and down the steps to get to his commentary box. And on a personal note, I just want to say I had a great weekend. Even though I've said all the stuff before, I always enjoy Coventry, and this year was no different. Seeing the hockey community together, no matter who you support, whether your team's there, whether you're not, it's always special to see everyone together. And thank you to everyone who came over to say hello. Thank you to everyone who had a chat with me. I actually didn't get pegged many times this year. I think maybe twice, which was lower than last year. But anyway, and now some quick reflections on the other Final Four teams before we finish. Hull, they turned a slow season into a brilliant run to the final, and they can be proud of that. And just a special thing, credit to the couple of the Seahawks players who stayed out on the ice even when Leeds were lifting the trophy. A great show of sportsmanship. Other players did go off the ice, some stayed on, so credit to them. Swindon had a great season, but it's another frustrating Coventry. And Sheffield won the cup, and they can build strongly from here. And just like that, the road to Coventry is complete. We went from 11 teams to 8 teams to 4 teams to 1 champion. From week 1 to week 3 and the finals weekend, I've genuinely loved making this series and bringing it to you guys, and I'd love to bring it back next season. Let me know down below if you would enjoy that. I wonder what Mr. Ryan Reynolds would make of that weekend, but as he'd say, don't have a good day, have a great day. It's been BritBoy Hockey. This has been the Road to Coventry 2025-26. And until the next video, until the next Coventry, and until the Road to Coventry 26-27, goodbye.